What is up, y'all? Welcome on back to another episode. We are here to complete the Andor review series where we are reviewing Rogue One, a Star Wars story, the official conclusion to Andor. Nick and I have been doing this for a few months now. This has been my life, Andor, since March, I think. Brandon joined us for season 2, and what better way to end Andor than to watch the actual conclusion with Rogue One, our official first review of a Star Wars movie. I'm hoping we can dive into the other trilogies later this year. I gotta start planning the year out a little bit, so be on the lookout for that. But to conclude this series, as always, we have Nick and Brandon joining me. Guys, this was bittersweet. Look,
This is the end.
This is the end. This is the horizon that we'll never see.
Oh, don't say that. Make me sad.
So look, we're not gonna tease the tip at all. We're just gonna fucking jump right into this shit because this is gonna be a little bit longer of an episode. I already know some of the, just from talking to Nick over the years, I know where some of these high points are gonna be, and I gotta be fucking ready to go for it. Okay, guys. So you buckle in. Full spoilers from Rogue One from this point forward. We're also gonna be spoiling anything from Andor season 1 and season 2. So if you have not watched any of that, pause, watch it, come back, do yourself a favor, go watch all of Andor and then Rogue One immediately afterwards. So if that's your last warning, let's just get our overall thoughts on Rogue One. I'll start off with Brandon. How do you feel about this being, let's save our thoughts on the just the overall movie itself, not how it fits in with Andor. Just the movie itself, and then we can dive into a little bit more of how it connects with Andor and how well it's like an actual conclusion.
I think the movie's pretty good. It's not amazing or anything, but I've always thought out of all the movies that Disney's made, it's okay. Like it beats Solo, it beats the sequel trilogy. Like it's a fun little romp. You know, it's just got bolstered by Andor. That's all.
This dude just said fun little romp.
He called it a romp.
I have never been so offended in my life. Wow. This is going to be, wow. I didn't know I was going to be fighting a war on two fronts.
Solo was a romp. Rogue One is not a romp.
Solo is a bore. I watched that movie like this.
Jesus Christ. Nick, how do you feel about Rogue One, sir?
Rogue One was a solid movie. Solid movie.
All right, so I'm just going to tell everybody right now, okay? I'm going to glaze this movie, okay? It's going to be nothing but glazing from me. All right, I am a huge fan of Rogue One. I remember maybe not liking it as much on my first watch through in the theater, but I think that may have been the actual, I may have been it was after a shift one day, so I was like tired to begin with. When I watched it the second time was really where I fell in love with it. I think this is one of the best Star Wars movies. Top 5, easily. I think when I look back at my rankings, it's probably number 4, if I had to guess.
What's it beating out?
Yeah, mine is, it's number 4 for mine.
Yeah, so I mean, like, Revenge of the Sith, obviously in top 3, got Empire, and then A New Hope, and I think that's right after that. And then Brandon is correct. This is better than anything that Disney has ever done. Rogue One, in terms of the movies. So I really love this movie. I thought it was great. I thought they do a great job with the characters and gives you a storyline that is conclusive. There's no fucking, well, I take that back. I was gonna say there's no spinoffs, but there is a spinoff.
Spinoff set before the movie, not after.
You get what I'm trying to say. So I just love the finality of this movie. Whereas you have, and the fact that it doesn't have Skywalkers, it doesn't have Jedi, it doesn't have all this other bullshit that the other movies had. It was legitimately a spin-off of the Star Wars universe, the first one that we got. So I love it a lot.
I am gonna have to contradict you on just a
I knew this was
spinoff.
coming. Oh, that's not what
You said
I
you
thought.
said it doesn't have Skywalkers, it doesn't have Jedi. It has
So,
one, not Jedi. It has a Sith.
Oh,
and he's
okay.
technically a
Okay.
Skywalker.
All right.
And he's a Skywalker.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay. All right. That's true. You got me on that one. For the most part. Okay. But while we're on the fucking subject, let's just go ahead and get it out the way because I know this is going to take a bulk of the episode. Let's just go ahead and talk about the ending. All right. Straight up, let's just talk about the ending. I already know Nick's opinion. And let me go ahead and get ready for this little fight that we're about to have. It's about to get hot and heavy in here. Brandon, how do you feel about the ending?
With Darth
Vader with Darth Vader.
I like that he's in this movie. I think it's great, especially with Andor bolstering it. Like everything keeps going to shit, so they send him in to clean it up, and it ends perfectly for him to go to A New Hope. Like it explains why he's the one chasing Leia. He was there. He was there on cleanup because everyone just kept fucking up their jobs, and he showed up to do what he did.
Do you think though that it ends perfectly and glides right in? Because I mean, think about it.
I mean, his line does, it's a little weird where he's like, "Oh, we caught you conspiring with spies," and you're like, "No, you saw him on the she was on the battlefield. Like, what are you talking about?"
Well, no, I'm talking about like Leia is like, this is no, we're on a diplomatic mission, and he's like, bitch, I just saw you escape from Scarif. Like, don't lie to me. I'm not stupid. Like that part kind of, I think,
To be
doesn't
fair,
bleed
when
well.
he
She
shows
wasn't on
up,
Scarif.
they're leaving.
No,
Like,
but
yeah,
she
they're
was in the ship.
hyperspacing.
He goes through and wrecks everybody. They drop out into an escape shuttle essentially and take off, and then that's where A New Hope begins.
Yeah, because she's on Radiss's ship, the little the fish guy. She's on his
Yeah,
ship,
he
and
shows up for reinforcements.
Mhm.
Yeah, but he's there. I mean, the ship is not on Scarif, but it is surrounding Scarif.
Well, she can say she was just on that ship for a meeting, and then he just kind of like took her to the battlefield and was like, "Whoa, hold up, I need to get out of here," and just
I want to see the deleted scenes or the alternative cut. Y'all seen Eurotrip?
It's been a minute, but yes.
You know when he falls into the hot tub? This isn't where I park my car. Like she fucking shows up, Vader's in there fucking wrecking folks. Bro, hold up. Like this isn't where we parked our car, okay? Like we have fuck the rebels, okay? Fuck them. Hail the Empire. I want the alternative take on that. I mean, look. I mean, even if you go back to some of the Andor stuff, it doesn't fit 100% with Rogue One. So I mean, there's always gonna be issues when you go back and you have to write around shit. But I thought it was amazing. I love that scene. I love that we don't get any of that shit through Andor's season 1 and season 2. Through the whole movie, we get like one little scene with him, I guess you could say. And then the ending, which is so fucking cool. So cool. The darkness and the lightsaber lights up like erection.
It was a great sequence. I just didn't necessarily want Vader in the movie. I think it would have been better. Leia can be in it. Her ship can be in it. Dropping out, taking off, and then that's where Vader intercepts her. And he's like, hey, this ship kind of matches the description we got from leaving Scarif. So Vader didn't like literally see the ship. He wasn't on the ship that this ship came from.
I think it makes sense for him to be there because politically, the whole thing is critics fighting with Tarkin, and the only person on his level is Vader. So, like, that makes sense of why he gets him involved because he needs somebody higher than Tarkin to help him out with that situation. but I don't think he should have seen the ship at the end of the movie. I think that was a bad idea.
Yeah. And then also the Vader line where he's pretty much like, what is it? Cat's got your tongue or whatever.
Oh, don't
Oh,
choke on your
Don't choke
aspiration.
on it. Yeah.
That is the most badass line. I don't know what you're talking
look,
about.
look. I don't give a shit what you say. I'm gonna agree with Brandon on that. Okay, that is like it's silly, but it's so fucking good at the same time.
Well, it's also like funny because he spends the whole scene chewing him out, and then Vader leaves, and he's like, "So I'm still in charge?" And he's like, "Did you not listen to me?"
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations. I'm like, that is such a 90s line if I ever fucking heard it. Maybe that's why I like it so much. Personally, I really love the inclusion of Vader here. It doesn't bother me. The only thing I would say about some of the inclusion of other characters is that it gets bogged down. I don't mind fan service. I have a problem when we start bringing back characters that are not alive, and we're doing de-aging or CGI or whatever for their bodies. Takes me out of the movie every single fucking time. Like, either recast it or don't put them in the fucking movie. Just work around it. Andor did a very good job of working around not having any of those characters in their TV series, so it can be done. I don't even know if we even necessarily needed Leia in the movie. We could
Again,
have.
we
I don't
don't.
think.
And if anything, just show the back of her fucking head. We're gonna see the donut hole, the donut ears. We're gonna know it's her. We don't need to see her face.
Like, do
You
like
don't need to hear.
a camera shot where it goes past the door and that's all you see is the back of her head.
Yeah. And the same thing, they could have treated Tarkin the same way. And it's just like he's always just this ominous dark figure that's giving orders, staring out the window. And you always just never see him turn around. He's always just talking while he's staring out the window or something like that. That would have been fine.
Yeah, I'd be down with that. I'm not a fan of them including. It's just like every time someone showed up, it was like, oh, okay. And we're just
When this
on
movie did have a lot of fan service.
a ton. I didn't realize the amount of fan service until this watch through.
Yeah. No, I had recognized it from the beginning, and I was just like, that's a lot of fan service. Too much for me. The movie overall is good, but man, there was a lot of fan service in that.
I think it's jarring when you go from, not jarring in a sense like I don't feel like Andor leads good into Rogue One. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's jarring when you watch Andor and it doesn't necessarily have all that. And then
or
when
if
you
it
get
is,
to
it's
this movie,
extremely subtle.
yes, yeah, like you have to be like a super fan to
You
catch
have to
the
understand
little
some of
hints.
it.
But this one, it's the "May the Force be with you," and I have a bad feeling, which I don't mind that I have a bad feeling about this. Like I'm okay with some franchises having that one reoccurring line every single time. I'm okay with that. But it's like, "May the Force be with you." It's like, okay, but we're not dealing with that kind of shit right now. So
No.
Right.
that type of fan service, I'm not a fan of. It's just completely different when you watch it from Andor to this, because Andor doesn't have all that.
And you got the unnecessary characters. Like you got the fan service of the two aliens that were in Tatooine in the cantina.
Oh yeah. Like,
They
why
didn't
are
need
they
to
in
be
this
there.
movie?
Right.
I completely forgot they they just bumped
Yeah.
into him on the street.
Right.
Same. Oh, we're gonna see you in a little bit.
It's just like, did they just fly straight to Tatooine and get killed? That's crazy.
It's straight to get killed. But no, the fan service is probably my biggest complaint of the entire movie. I will side with Nick on that. I think fan service can be done well. It's kind of eye rolling in this movie, and it's unnecessary, honestly, because you had a good thing going. You have a good movie. You don't need all that other bullshit, and that's really how you marketed it, as not having that bullshit, but you still threw it in there. But it could have been better. It's a little jarring going from Andor to this, and
Yeah,
I prefer Andor.
How did you like the fact that this movie just jumps into it? This is the first Star Wars movie where we don't have the scroll.
I don't feel like if now I guess we can mention some of the things that with connections of Andor to this one. I think if you watch Andor into this, it's perfect in terms of like I don't need the side scrolling or the
Yeah.
scroll. That's just one of those things that you kind I don't know. I feel like as the guy that's been watching Star Wars since I was a little kid, like look, I want it, you know? Just give me something. Just give
You
me
know,
like the rebels are fucking up or some shit like that. I don't know.
I distinctly remember watching this in theaters, and it just jumped in. I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck? We didn't get the title scroll." Like, what's now? I watch it, and I'm like, perfect transition from Andor.
I
Yes,
think since
I
this
agree.
was the first spin-off movie, their idea was to keep the scroll for the mainline movies and
Which
then like
right, and it was just jarring the first time, but
yeah,
now
look, here's
watching
it out.
Andor and then
Oh, it
jump
slots
straight
perfect,
into a
right?
movie, and you don't have that scroll. And I'm like, that scroll would have hurt this movie now
Mhm.
with Andor.
It would have completely agree. Completely agree with that. Like you said, the first time you watch, you're like, man, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not a big fan of it. But with the other, the 2 seasons before it, now it's like, that kind of fits nicely because it
I
just like you
kind
said,
of
just jumps right into it.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to see the Andor pop up with the synth music playing in the background and then fade away again. I was kind of hoping to see that. I knew it wasn't going to happen, obviously, but that would have been
Yeah,
good.
that
Dude,
hurt my
how would you
soul.
feel? How would you feel if they did like a recut? Like they did season 1, or let me rephrase that. Like they would have to do it because I mean they each season has different arcs in it. If they did like mini movies, I don't think it would be difficult. All you have to do is cut out the title credits and shit like that, and just
Mhm.
smush them together into what 6 mini movies, and then have Andor. I mean, have Rogue One kind of fit in right behind it.
You could
Which is
honestly, first season would be hard to break up into movies because there are 3 or 4 arcs, but they all kind of intertwine.
Connect.
Now, you could definitely, for season 2, make 4 mini movies and have it
yeah,
tie straight in. And I would honestly kind of like to see a
a
recut
super
of
cut.
Rogue One, or a cut of Rogue One, where Jen Erso's a character, but Andor is the main.
Oh, so you okay? I see. Yeah, because he's not really the main character of this movie. I kind of forgot about that. I mean, I did,
Yeah,
but I didn't. Like watching, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. It's weird going from Andor to this, where I'm like, oh, like he's not really the focal point anymore. That sucks.
he's just there in the background. You're like, oh, come back to me, my sweet
Yeah,
prince.
right. My sweet prince. All right, so let's dive a little bit deeper into this movie, okay? Let's talk about some individual characters and maybe some individual moments. I want to start off with the villain, Krennic. And we've already kind of filled in a little bit of this from Andor season 2. And I love Krennic. I'm a huge Ben Mendelsohn Dick Rider all day, every day. Like I'll watch anything with him. I think he's just a great, phenomenal actor. And he's no different in this. His acting, it's I will say it seems a little different. I don't know if y'all agree with me in
It's a
comparison
little
to season 2.
muted. It's a little muted compared to what he was in season 2, but I don't like when I saw him in season 2 of Andor, I was like, wow, he's really just out there
Eccentric.
crazy, eccentric, yeah. And I was like, I don't remember him being like that in the movie, and I refused to watch the movie until the season was over. He's still eccentric, but he's not as.
I'm curious to know if that has anything to do with like in season 2, he doesn't really have like Vader or Tarkin like in his asshole about anything. So he's
Yeah,
I think
that's
able
he
what
like
I
might
was
he's
gonna
himself.
say.
like not as stressed, And this one he's like more serious because they're like fucking him from behind the entire movie.
Yeah, he spent
Yeah.
19 years of his life building this thing, and they're trying to just steal it from him, I'd be a little angry.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
damn.
So that's how I explain it in my mind. But yeah, it's a little different than what he was in season 2. I don't
It
mind it
was, but
by
if
any means.
the opening scene, whenever he's on that planet with Galen, he's him from from Andor.
Good opening scene, by the way.
Oh, he's so no nonsense in that.
Really just draws you in. Mads Mikkelsen, dude, he's solid, man. He's really good. Actually, let me take that back. Do we have anything to say about Krennic before we move on? Other than like I feel like he's one of the better villains in the Star Wars universe.
I think so too.
Mads Mikkelsen, great actor, right?
Mhm.
I mean, shit. I'm thinking of the James Bond movie, Casino Royale.
Mhm.
One of the best, if not maybe the best James Bond movie. That's up for debate. His character in that movie, fucking fantastic. This death scene, though, his death scene is fucking bad. I don't know if y'all feel the same way. It's not like Talia al Ghul bad from Dark Knight Rises, but I would like it's in the conversation, okay? I just saw that scene happen. I'm like, you really just you did the whole thing. Like it's so fucking fake. Another pet peeve of mine. I don't know if y'all know this. Death scenes are a huge pet peeve of mine. I hate how unrealistic they are.
So I like
Um,
Andor.
I
A lot of people
hate
didn't get it.
I hate the I gotta get one last word in. You know, the one last hurrah moment. Go be better or some shit like that. And then they just fucking fall and that's it. I'm like, that's not how it fucking happens in real life, okay? It takes me out of the movie every single fucking time.
Or like in Fellowship of the Rings, whenever Gandalf is reading the book in Moria, and he's writing as he's dying.
Yeah.
And you see him dying as he writes. He just goes from straight lines to slanted and then drop dead.
That's right.
He still finished the word that he was writing, but he died in the process.
The Dark Knight has one of the best ones where she goes to start saying her last words and then it explodes on her, Rachel. Like that's how you do
Yeah.
it. Like she doesn't even get to finish it. She starts and then
Yeah, I forgot about that one. That's a good death scene. The Talia al Ghul one, man, that is all time number one worst death scene ever. It's
You
crazy.
still
I gotta want to turn this into a Dark Knight Rises review, but the fact that Christopher Nolan, like, that's the take you went with.
you still need to watch. You still need to watch Pee Wee Herman die in the Buffy movie.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
I'm gonna send you.
I've not seen the Buffy movie either.
I'm gonna send you just the death scene of him dying because it's just the campiest, stupidest, but best death scene ever.
Mm-hmm. Well, this isn't even like best in like in a bad way. It's just bad.
He was just trying to get his paycheck.
It's crazy because Mads Mikkelsen is such a good actor, though. Like he's usually really good in everything that he does. Like, what was it? Doctor Strange. He was in. Like he was even good in that one.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen the Hannibal series though. I never watched that.
I have not seen that. No.
So I cannot say anything to that one. But typically, in all the movies that I've seen with him, he's really great. Not in that death scene though. Everything else, he did great in. Not that one.
It's got to be a directing thing though, because they were trying to keep the Disney aesthetic of the time, and they were trying to make Jen go back to Yavin and go, hope, guys. Hope is going to get us through this.
The rebellion is built on hope.
Right. They were just lining that up. They had to convert her over, and him dying is finally what got her converted over to join the rebellion.
The hologram message that he gives her, dude, fucking great scene. Great scene. Overall, and her acting is pretty good in it too, where you can see some of the facial expressions where she's just like, she's sad because she didn't get this relationship with her father, but she's also sad on top of that because she's about to lose her father, and it's a lot of different emotions that I really appreciate it. Really great scene though, where he's explaining everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I do. How do y'all feel about Jeddah City in general?
It was smaller than I remember.
Okay, let me
It's
rephrase it. Let me rephrase that. Not the actual
Screen or the
okay. Let me
set?
when they went to Saw Gerrera's, like that part of Jeddah City. How do y'all feel about that whole sequence in the movie? Do you, I feel like it's the lowest point of the movie to me.
So
I think so too.
Saw was the lowest point in the movie and made no sense unless you've seen Andor, and now you're like, Andor made Saw a better character in Rogue One.
Agreed. But by itself, it's just like,
Oh
okay,
no,
we
he
got,
was
we got
actually
this guy.
yeah,
for,
he was
we got this guy for like 5 seconds.
yeah, he was an absolutely non-character. They built him up to be so big in this movie, and they're like, "Hey, remember Saw Gerrera from the cartoon show? He's back in this one now." And he played such a small non-point, and then he just fucking kills himself essentially. But then now we have Andor, and now he's an actual character, and now we know him.
Yeah.
I wish they would have done a little bit more Saw Gerrera in the TV show, though. Like we got
still.
one full episode with him, or most of an episode with him, and then was it like 1 or 2 other episodes where he's just sprinkled in? If I'm not mistaken. I wish they would have hit. Like, I don't know. When you watch this movie, it's just like, okay, we're focusing a lot of time on this one character that didn't get a whole lot of time to begin with.
Right.
No.
Like, what are we doing?
They probably planned to do more with him in Andor, but he's the easiest part to cut. So when they were told they can't do the 5 seasons, it was probably him that was first up on the chopping block.
That's a fair point. Forrest Whitaker. How do y'all feel about his performance as Saw Gerrera?
I love the save the dreams.
Dude, I don't know. I have a conflicted boner here, okay? It's like, it's so good, but it's so bad, but it's so good.
Anymore
Like,
now when I'm scrolling TikTok and it's just that one guy is like day 1 of watching Andor, day 2 of watching Andor, and then he's got like he's got a vacuum cleaner wrapped around him and he's sucking on the end of the vacuum cleaner, acting like Saul.
Like his
like
performance is just it's borderline comical. But he like, I don't know, he tiptoes that cunt hair of a line between being like over the top and not over the top, and it's kind of impressive when you think about it. Because I'm watching some of his line deliveries. I'm like that shouldn't work, but it does. I don't get it. I don't know if y'all felt the same way about it. That's just me.
I think he's definitely over the top. But he's explained now. He's hitting drugs. He's not hitting oxygen.
That's
Yeah,
true.
we always
That is
thought that
true.
was an oxygen mask. He's sucking on fumes.
Yeah, that
He's got jet
that
fuel
is
now.
the one thing that surprised me when we were watching Andor. I'm like, dude was just fucking getting high the whole time. What the fuck?
That's all it is.
I thought it was because his lungs were fucking devastated and he needs oxygen.
Nah,
like
he's got
Bane
portable
or some
jet
shit.
fuel.
Portable jet fuel. But the action, so at Saw Gerrera's, I think that is the low point of the movie for me. Even though we do have some Cassian stuff kind of sprinkled in there, and the message from Galen, that is definitely interesting. But when it gets to the actual Saw Gerrera stuff, it's like, okay, like let's go. Let's go on to some other things here. That's a low point, and I say low point as in it's just not as good as everything else in the movie for me. I don't dislike it or hate it or anything like that. I still like it, but the actual Jeddah City sequence with all the action, they're trying to escape, dude, that's fucking cool. I liked it a lot.
It's got one of the best shots in the movie when the Death Star shows up and it blocks out the sun, so it makes the planet dark for a minute. You're like,
She was fucking
Like that's
cool.
intimidating.
It was good to see, like, you see the Death Star twice over the horizon, and it just puts it in perspective how big this ship is.
Mm-hmm.
You can see why
And
the Emperor thought this was gonna be my big like, yeah, you're not gonna fuck with me anymore. Like I'm gonna put
it's
this over your planet. What you gonna do?
it's not just this floating thing in space. Like, you look at it coming over the horizon like it's the sun or it's the moon or whatever, and it's just like, wow, that's a shot. And just imagine being on the planet when you see it charging up to shoot
Because you can see the
versus
beam from the ground. You're like, well,
Oh fuck! We have nowhere to go.
right. So then fast forward and think about how, like, Alderaan, how everybody on Alderaan was looking up the sky, watching this big fucking ball in the air, and you're like, what the fuck is that? And you see this green flash, and that's it.
Right. Just saw the flash. Oh, that's a pretty color. They're in the Force Ghost realm, and they're like, "Fuck, guys! Like, not gonna lie, that was a pretty color. It looked great, but we got
I'm
fucked."
that happy.
So yeah, City, great. I thought great action set pieces across the board, and there's even some like subtle humor woven through it, and a lot of that is to deal with Kay, which unsung hero of the movie. Kay continues his
You did.
trek from Andor. Fucking love
You
Kay.
didn't think that was me, did you?
Right? And she doesn't even answer him.
I think the funniest line sequence with Kay in it, though, was whenever they are flying flying in the planet to go find Galen, and the pilot is like, you gotta go lower, you gotta fly lower, and he's like, there's a 38% or a 25% chance of us crashing on here. And he's like, are you sure this is the way? He goes, well, I've never actually flown this path before, but I've heard about it. And he's like, now there's a 38% chance of us dying.
Yeah, that was great. Everything with Kay, man. Like, the dude had so many great comebacks to everything, and his relationship and his interactions with Jin, so good. So good. They're at odds like this entire fucking movie until the
How
end.
does she get a gun? I should get a gun.
And then she finally gives him the gun at the end, which I thought that was great. I thought that was a good, like, full circle moment. She finally gives him a gun. But yeah, the dialogue between them is just hilarious, and it does break up the tension in like a very heavy movie, I think. And again,
It's the
I'll
calm
always
before
say
the
this.
storm.
Yeah, I'll always say this, and I bitch about it any chance that I can. No, I'm not gonna mention the Acolyte, but since I mentioned it, fuck that show. The Marvel MCU humor, I appreciate this type of humor, not Marvel. It just it fits. It's not like just shoehorned in there to. It feels organic to me and natural. Whereas Marvel humor is, oh, let's just throw a funny moment right here and make this funny.
I can't believe that just happened. You're like,
And
oh, okay.
honestly, it feels it's because K2 is so droid naive. Like, he's not trying to come off as funny, but just the way he is as a droid and being naive to everything is hilarious.
His personality.
Yeah.
He's very
Did you notice they did have to retcon for Andor a little bit on the K droids? They are not impenetrable in this movie.
Dude, they were. I didn't recognize that when I was watching the movie, but they were a force to be reckoned with in Andor.
But in this one good blaster shot would kill him.
Dude, Kay's in there fucking smashing folks and fucking backhanding people across the fucking city, and this one is just like, wow, dude, did you lose your strength in like the fucking 10 minutes that it's been since I watched you last?
Right.
Because he bonks that one guy on the head, and you're like, his spine should go through his asshole. If Andor has anything to say,
It should. Y'all made those fucking droids OP in Andor. Crazy. So I think the only other characters we got to talk about, Jen. Let's talk about Jen for a second. I think I like her character. I don't have any issues with her character or not at all. I kind of wish maybe we got a little bit more
She
from the
needed more
character side of it.
development. She
More
I
needed
think so.
development.
more. Her transition from being I don't want to be a part of this to hope was a little too abrupt.
I will agree with that.
Especially now that we have Andor's transition to that, where we get a
Right.
whole season of television to get him there, and she gets like 30 minutes. You're like, feels a little bit weird.
I mean, I get it. She listens to this message from her dad about that he built but it wasn't like this some rah speech that he gave there to make her be like, oh yeah, nah, fuck the Empire. Let's go get them.
Right.
Yeah, it was Mervis Street speech.
It,
Yeah,
it, it
season one.
seemed more along the lines of she wanted to do this for her father more so than the rebellion. Is what I took from it, and her lines past that point made it seem like she wasn't doing it for her father though.
Right.
So I will agree. Needed more from her on that front, but still a solid character overall. Would you want a Jen prequel series?
No.
I don't
No,
think
not
they do it
interested.
right unless you
I
get
don't.
Tony Gilroy,
I don't
which he's
think it
not
would.
coming back.
It wouldn't do anything for this movie, though. I mean, we jump into her and she's on a prison planet, and no one knows who she is. Okay. I don't
You can
need to
have
see
it.
her. I don't need to see her growing up with Saw Gerrera until she's 16 years old.
You don't want to see Forrest Whitaker huffing up on those fumes
For
Brad
16 years,
Pitt.
no, I don't.
for 16 years.
Save the dream. You're here, boy. Breathe it in.
I I think that is the natural. I'm very curious if Disney is going to touch this again
I hope
and,
not.
and Lucasfilm.
I feel like they might
I don't
try
necessarily
to.
I don't want a prequel series. I don't want a prequel
You
series.
know,
I'm
they're
I'm
probably
I'm
going to
good
try
with
and
what
make
it is.
a. They're going to make a Saw Gerrera prequel series then.
He could
And
ruin that
that's the thing
character.
about Disney. Disney sees something that okay, well they really love this, so let's give them more of this. And it's just like, no,
We don't
no,
want
that's
yours. We want Tony Gilroy's.
yeah,
You
that's where
can
y'all
keep
fucked
it.
up when y'all were releasing Star Wars movies every single year, and it was like, okay, we love Star Wars, but we don't need a movie every fucking year. Okay, like when I was growing up, Star Wars was big events. Like, okay, 3 movies over what was it, 6 years or whatever it was, from episode 1 to episode 3, and it's just like, okay, those are big events. The first movie happens, and it's like, all right, let's we gotta wait anxiously for the next one to come. And then when Disney starts doing this every year thing, it's like, okay, well, yeah, I mean, I'll go see it. Just the excitement's not there. But Disney always loves to just pound the fuck out of something, beat the dead horse.
Dead horse and a
Hell
stick.
yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if they tried doing a Saul Guerrero series or a Jen prequel series or something like that. It would not surprise me. But I just want to. I wouldn't be opposed to them changing a completely different series in this time frame, focusing on like another side of the rebellion or something. I wouldn't be opposed to that, depending on the storyline. But in terms of any of these characters, leave it alone. Leave it alone. I think it's perfect. I don't think you can make it any better than it is. So just move on. Give us something different.
Agreed.
Now we got. I guess we can go ahead and talk about Cassian a little bit. He doesn't get a whole lot of screen time in this movie.
Uh-uh.
Not a ton. He's definitely a side, which that was the whole point of the Andor series was, hey, we're gonna take this one character that you didn't see a whole lot of in this movie, and we're just gonna do a TV series on him and the rebellion, which is fine. And I'm heartbroken because I wanted more from it. You know, It's not bad, but I like what we got from Cassian in this movie. It's just me being greedy. I wanted more,
And
even though it got
though
2 seasons.
it was because when he was first introduced in this movie, and it's just like, God damn, he just shot his buddy in cold blood just so he could get away. Now you're like, yeah, motherfucker, that's what he does. That's Cassian.
That's
That's my dog, bro.
it's very, very, very Luthen of him.
Right. And it's like, okay, it makes sense now. Cassian, we get it. And they've been telling us, finish Andor, and then you're going to watch Rogue One. Cassian's going to be a completely different character to you. And he was. I liked him.
Yeah, makes sense.
All of it.
The whole character.
Cassian, anytime Cassian showed up in Rogue One, it was a good part of the movie.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. The scene where he's in Jeddah City with Saw Gerrera, and he's in the prison cell, and he says, "This is the first time I've been in one of these."
In a
So
cell
do we
like
think-
this. A
in a
cell
cell
like
like
this.
Okay,
His
so
cell didn't have a door. It was the electric floor. It was open to the air. He could reach out, do whatever. He wasn't in bars.
okay, so that's what we're going with here.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I think I agree with Nick on this one.
Like it's a very minor thing. I don't see it as one of those what's the word I'm looking for? Conflicts or whatever.
Tony, how'd you miss that?
Tony.
You wrote the fucking movie. You worked on it. You should know these. You should know these things. Yeah, so I don't really have an issue with it. I saw it and I was like, I wonder if they're playing on like him just being a spy and he's just lying, or the fact that it's not this type. Like, okay, like we're being a little like minute details here where he says this type of cell, like that's what we're going with.
The mouse is going to George Lucas this in the special edition of Rogue One, and they're going to Greedo versus Han this scene and cut that vocal out.
Cut that out.
They're gonna say something to him. He just looks and doesn't say nothing and goes back to it. It does look weird. What happened there?
Yeah, just a little AI.
Yeah, no, they're absolutely gonna hand shot first this.
One, I know we talked about Vader a little bit already. I want to mention one more thing from him. And it's the first scene that we have of him where they go to Mustafar and he walks in and he's in the my boy Vader looking like Goku on Namek in the rejuvenation chamber. I thought it was cool, honestly.
I like that
it's something that it's something different, It's getting a little different aspect of it.
Rewatching him in Rogue One made me be like, wow, y'all used him so much better than the Kenobi show did. Like, use him very sparingly. Kenobi just threw him at you. You're like, look, here's Vader. Here's Vader. You're like, bro, I don't need him.
Okay, chill the fuck out. Okay, I'm not gonna accept any fucking Obi-Wan slander on this show. Okay, none whatsoever. Don't make me boot you, sir.
No. The only complaint I had with Obi-Wan were the child action sequences.
The fucking chase sequence. God, it's so fucking bad.
I hate
the fucking tree branch. The tree branch that fucking prevented the fucking adults getting by.
If only I could just duck.
Yeah. In any part
my
where
knees
Leia is
slightly.
running and someone's trying to catch her, horrible.
That's the only slander that I will allow.
Is
Because
awful.
that's valid.
Yeah.
So overall, let's talk about the connection between Andor to this, and then kind of like our overall impressions, and then we'll kind of end the episode with that. Do we feel that this was a worthy conclusion? Was this like a Andor season 3 kind of thing where it tied everything together? It was the perfect conclusion, flowed very well into Rogue One. How do we feel about it?
Perfect conclusion and flowed well. No, I think, like I said, they need to special edition this movie. And if not anything else, they need to change the tone of this movie to match with Andor more. The music was a lot more
Uppity.
prequel. Yeah, too uppity. This is a down movie, and there's a lot of just uptone music that does not match the where the tone of this movie is supposed to be. It was it
I will
was
agree with
very
that.
it was very prequel style music versus trying to be its own thing.
I think that's a valid complaint. What about you, Brandon?
I agree. I don't think it slots perfectly, but I do think it is a good enough conclusion, especially with that battle of Scarif. It's just like you followed this rebel throughout his whole life, and then he gave it all for this one mission, and you get to see the bombastic end of that.
I did enjoy the battle scene on Scarif where people are just getting mowed down. I'm
Which
like,
we haven't talked about at all.
this
We
is a
have
war
not.
scene. This is a battle.
Which that was how they marketed the movie, was that it was going to be like this almost kind of like Vietnam-esque war style movie. And when it gets to that ending, and I think Brandon, I don't remember if we mentioned on a previous episode or if it was you and I just talking. You had mentioned that like the beginning of the movie was a little bit slower, but like once they fucking leave on Rogue One, it's
Yeah.
like the movie is just pounding you in the face for fucking what, an hour.
Oh yeah, it is great.
the uh the war movie aspect of it was great. I fucking loved it. Like you said, get mowed down. Um, we have what was the blind dude's name? Um,
Oof.
it starts with a C, doesn't it?
Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen. That's what I'm going with. I liked his character a lot. I like how he just went to his death saying the same shit over and over again. But what was funny was his buddy started saying it, and you think he's gonna do like something very heroic and like start really chopping down people.
He
He
takes
kills
out
like two
5
people.
guys. Yeah.
He takes like down like 2 people and he dies. I'm like, well, oh, you didn't really do anything.
Half the main characters in this movie gets taken out by a grenade. So they die by a grenade, and so does the pilot because they throw one in the ship while he's in there. Just blow them up.
Dude, I was like, it hit me right in the feels when he got killed. I'm like, oh damn, dude, finally got it working, and then conveniently got killed as soon as it worked. Huh.
I like
But
Convenient.
anyways, I
Ooh,
liked his character,
ooh,
and he still
convenience,
died.
huh?
Yeah. So like one hand, I'm like, damn, that kind of ruins it for me because it was so convenient.
I
But I
kind of
liked his
like
character.
how Melshi dies is he won't leave the wounded guy on the beach. He's trying to help him, and he gets shot.
He gets
Which I think
shot
goes.
and then he dies off screen.
I
And then
assume
you
it's
go
because of
back
that
and
shot.
okay, because I was wondering, I was like, what the he was just hiding behind a wall. Why is he dead now? Like I missed that whole part.
When he's
I knew
talking to the pilot, though, he's like holding it. He's like breathing really heavy. So I assume it just that killed him.
it just caught up.
It
They
just
just
it.
we didn't get his death rattle scene. We didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did Melchi dirty in this, man.
Yeah, he
Did
gets
he had
like
one speaking line in this movie, didn't he?
no, he's got a couple because he's leading the rebels on, so he's like giving them commands over the radio. He's the one
I
that's
will
telling them to
say
place the bombs and stuff like that.
if you're watching Andor and then go right into this, I mean, the last arc has Melshi in it, and they're at that they're in their little hut, and they're having the little poker game or whatever it was,
With K2,
and
yeah.
like great scene, and they're like besties, man. But you go into this movie and like they talk to each other like one time, and it I don't know, that
Well,
little bit of an issue.
him and his team are the ones willing to break protocol and go with him, though. So it kind of makes sense. You're
That's
like,
valid. That's valid. That's a valid point.
You could definitely, and it would have been cool in the movie if these guys that all were Rogue One were all like Luthen spies that then joined the Alliance.
yeah, where's Vaus?
Yeah, no Val. What the fuck?
Yeah, but I mean, that would have been great. As if it was like all Luthen's guys. Then everybody that's been working for Luthen behind the scenes this entire time. That's like backed off of Luthen. They're like, yeah, you know what? We're just gonna go hang out with the rebels now instead. Then Luthen dies, and now they're like, all right, this is it. They all stand on the beach, and Melchi turns around and he goes, "For Luthen." And then
For
they all run out.
Luthen. For Luthen. For the horizon, guys.
Oh, we'll get to see it at the end of this movie.
Which, yeah, that like the
That
special
was
effects throughout the entire movie is really great. I just want to point out, especially in like Jeddah City, but like the war sequences really fucking good. Um, but that moment with when they're just kind of like hugging each other, looking at the horizon that is going to kill them, basically. The special effects on that just looked great. The whole scene looked great.
Why do they have him open his eyes in horror right before it gets to him? Like, I don't
not
like that.
hers, not her, not it
It's
wasn't
his.
his.
No,
It
it's
was
his.
Jin's. It was
No,
Jin's. I
it's
thought.
no, it's his because it's he's the one facing the camera, and then right before it gets to him, he opens his eyes in horror. You're like, oh god.
I thought it was Jen.
I thought Jin was watching it, and Cassian was looking back at the beach.
No, it's Andor. It's the reverse.
Huh. Well, maybe he's looking at that horizon. You know, maybe
There
it's
was,
it's a
that was
circle.
he was supposed. Yeah, that was the horizon.
It never ends. So I remember watching this movie for the first time, and that Jen and Cassian had like a thing going on. Like it wasn't like evident. It wasn't like something that was just completely out there. But you got those vibes, right? That they cared for each other a lot. I think after watching Andor and then going into this, it kind of changes my opinion about that a little bit, and it's just like, okay, no, there's no relationship. Like he definitely like they care for each other just because of the camaraderie there, but that embrace at the end is just like I need to hold one more person before I die.
That is
We're
purely that was
we're dying
purely
with the tug.
human with human right before death.
Yeah, platonic, as they say.
Yeah.
Which sucks we didn't get any Bix in this, man.
She's
Sucks.
she got her baby. She's got Cassian Jr. raising him up for his show on Rise of Skywalker when all the ships
Oh
show
God.
The Rogue One sequel,
up. Yeah.
Rogue 2.
So I heard
It's a new trilogy.
I heard a fun fact, and I did try to see if it was true when rewatching this movie, but all of the Gold Leaders scenes are from A New Hope. Like they're deleted scenes from A New Hope. And if you do,
All of the gold and red.
yeah. And you can tell if once you go watching it, because they do seem a lot like older footage whenever it cuts to
Oh
them for the
yeah,
few
no, they
seconds.
were.
You're like, oh
And
yeah, that's true.
I think the bad part of Red Squadron though was the unceremonious, unnecessary killing of Red 5, just so that way Luke could have Red 5 in the next movie.
He just flies off on his own and they cap him.
Yeah, I didn't catch that, but when we were like when I was watching the movie, I was like, wow, that looks a little different. But like I didn't think twice about it, to be honest with you.
Oh,
I didn't see
It
it
would
at the
be
end.
I
just
remember watching that movie in theaters, going, "Those are that's cut footage from the first movie."
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
didn't put
everybody,
it to.
so it's hard to catch. Like it's just like two or three people. When it cuts to them, it's New Hope footage.
Did you watch the TikTok I sent you, Primo, about
Uh,
the naming of the planet Scarif?
no, I don't think I saw that.
All right, so the director's first name is Gareth.
Yeah, Gareth Edwards.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So during the whole writing of this movie, the screenwriters or whatever was like, "Look, the only thing we need, and this is your job, Gareth, is you need to name the planet that the final battle sequence takes place on. You need to name the planet for the third act." And he goes, "All right, I'll think on it." So he goes down to Starbucks and he orders a cup of coffee. And he's got an accent. And he gets his cup of coffee. And when they asked what his name was, and he said his name was Gareth, they wrote Scarif on the cup.
Oh,
And that is how we got the planet Scarif.
I like it. I like it. I'm not opposed to it.
That is like the most Star Wars named bullshit you could actually come up with, and that's how it happened.
It sounds legit.
And that was out of his mouth. I watched the video of it. He was saying that in an interview.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, no. I'm not saying like your story sounds legit. I'm saying like the name sounds like it would fucking fit.
It's a cool name. I like the name.
It is. Whole battle
Oh,
scare
speaking
action.
of cool, the Shore Troopers, I think I like that costume a lot.
Ooh,
Those
yeah.
are cool looking.
But let's be fair. They're always pretty good at designing those things.
I don't like the sequels, but I still think the First Order stormtroopers look cool. So, it's kind of hard to ruin those suits.
Hey, as shitty as those movies are, man, I will agree with you. The design's fucking dope. But how much of that is credit to J.J. Abrams?
Zero.
Well, for better or for worse, the dude he will live and die on the hill of he will live on the and die on the hill of what's the word? Like not necessarily fan service, but like he's going to allude to previous. He's not very original, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So a lot of that is him just looking at what has come before him and then just kind of improving on it a little bit. So for better or for worse, how much of that is a testament to J.J. Abrams? Because it wasn't what's his name, Ryan Johnson. He was too busy fucking everything up.
Yeah, we don't mention that name here.
Ryan Johnson did do one thing. The name of the ship that they're on in that movie is Radis, after the guy in Rogue One. I like that. Little fish guy that shows up to help them. His name is Radis.
Right.
That was a Mon Calamari.
Uh-huh.
Don't be
sorry.
a specious.
Species. None of that on this podcast, sir.
Yeah, my bad.
So anything else y'all want to say about Rogue One? Actually, you know what? Let's cut it with your final thoughts, how it connects, and we'll close it out from there.
Me?
Brandon.
I'll go first.
Yes.
So I think after watching 2 seasons of Andor, it definitely does improve Rogue One. I think it connects well enough. There's some issues there, but like it connects well enough where it's not really it's kind of the same problem Rogue One had connecting to New Hope, where there's some issues, but it's well enough. I think it's a pretty good movie, and I think it's a good ending to Andor's story, where he died fighting for a horizon he'll never get to see.
I think it's a good middle ground. I actually plan on watching A New Hope after this because I've heard that Andor and then Rogue One and then A New Hope is gonna feel a little bit different now that you've seen everything that's happened before Luke shows up and takes all the credit.
Yeah.
But no, Andor was a phenomenal series. Rogue One is the best thing Disney's put out aside for movies. And it serves as a tonal shift for the OG trilogy. We had the darkness of Andor, the kind of lightness in Rogue One, to just the all-out adventure of A New Hope.
I'll agree with all those points. Andor, put it in there as one of my favorite TV series of all time. Absolutely fucking loved it. I think watching this movie right after watching that, definitely I'm going to join the camp of the movie is better now. I like it more than I did. So, full transparency. I originally gave this movie 4 stars after watching it a couple years ago. I think after watching Andor, going into this movie, I bumped it up to 4.5. I don't think it's perfect by any means. I'm not gonna glaze it that much. It's not perfect. The fan service is much to be desired. I think the was it Edu sequence really fucking dark. Not Battle of Winterfell dark, but it's pretty fucking dark during that sequence that it's just a little hard to see what's going on. But for the most part, like y'all said, this is, I don't know if Disney will ever make a better Star Wars movie. This is the best one, and I guess if you put it in Disney terms, this is a perfect Disney Star Wars film. I love it. I love all these characters. I think it, yeah, like y'all said. I'm not going to sit here and say that it flows nicely into one another and that the music is off and shit like that. It there's a little bit, there's some issues there for sure, but in terms of getting a prequel series to a movie that wasn't planned to do that to begin with, I don't think they could have done a better job, honestly, and especially with the fact that it could have been 5 seasons and they cut that shit down to 2. Again, I don't think they could have done a better job.
No, honestly, it's the fact that they were able to pull off Andor like they did to make it work and fit so perfectly with what had come before it. As far as story goes, not necessarily tone or whatever else like that, but as far as the story goes and the facts that we have and everything else, is baffling that they did not have to retcon much of anything.
That's a huge problem when you get to like prequel stuff. It's just like you have to work around bullshit and you end up fucking up. Like oh, here it goes. The Acolyte. I mean, they fucked up a lot of shit because of they couldn't work around some of the shit. They just did whatever, didn't pay attention to anything in the movies or stuff like that. They kind of just did their own thing.
They made
that's
my
the problem with
Kiadi-Mundi a liar.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
How could you do that?
So yeah, I absolutely love it. It's going to be interesting when we dive into the trilogies, hopefully later this year. If this goes up or down my rankings, I know for a fact it will never go above 3. Like it'll never be 2 or 1.
I know 2 is Revenge, and 1 is
I have
Empire.
watched. Yeah, 3 is New Hope right now. Like I can see it going. I can see it going above that. I don't know though, because those movies are super nostalgic for me. Like I just have so many core memories tied to the OG trilogy that I don't see how it can move past A New Hope. But it definitely will not ascend past Revenge of the Sith and Empire. 100%. It's impossible. But it'll be interesting. Brandon,
you know where Revenge sits for me, so.
Sorry, Brandon, you're gonna have to join me for that review because I'm gonna need help. Okay, I'm gonna need help defending myself.
I'm with you. I love Revenge of the Sith.
But yeah,
I love it as...
if you're good with it, sir, later this year, I'm hoping for some trilogy reviews. If you're down for it, both of you.
Oh yeah, you know me. I'll have the hopefully I'll have the man cave finished by then.
Yes. I have everything planned out through August, so it won't be before then.
That's fine. That'll give me 3 months. Wait, what month is it now? June. 2 months to not get anything done.
And then work really fast and then procrastinate.
I'm calling it like I sees it.
I respect it. But guys, let us know down in the comments below how you feel about not only Rogue One, where does it sit in your rankings of the Star Wars movies, but let us know how you feel about this being the conclusion to, I don't want to say hyperbole, but like one of the best TV shows of all time, okay? And that's how I feel about it.
And definitely let us know the where best of anything Disney.
Yeah, we're never going to get another Star Wars like that.
That's what's so fucking sad. It'll never happen again.
It won't.
It's kind of like having sex for the first time. You know, you'll never have that first time ever again.
Best 30 seconds of my life.
Right? But guys, yeah, let us know down below how you feel about Rogue One and Andor as a whole. Thank y'all for joining us for this series. Gentlemen, Brandon, thank you for joining us for season 2. Nick, thank you for the entirety of this series.
Indeed.
It's been great. It's like I said, bittersweet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of my life after this point. But yeah, that's going to be it for us. We will catch y'all next time on another episode. Laters.